Hey yo, this is Dash, and I haven't taken you guys along for one of my cooks in quite some time. So today is Friday, November 2nd, 2016. It is the Friday prior to Labor Day Monday. I have a lot to cook tonight. So let me show you what I have to cook tonight. Alright, so this is about 30 pounds of actually look, so this one is 17.28 and this one is 15.79, so it's over 30 pounds of pork shoulder. This is 3 baby back ribs. This is another 3 racks of baby back ribs. There's 2 chickens. There's 3 packs of boneless thighs. There's 3 packs of chicken breasts. And then at the bottom of this box, there are 4 briskets. And they are about 15 pounds each. One of them is 13, one is 14, and the other 2 are 15, in the 15-pound range. Those are the briskets I like to cook, the 15-pound range briskets. Anything bigger, it's just pretty much a lot of fat. Anything smaller, and I just don't yield enough. So, alright, time to get this stuff seasoned up. I'll see y'all in a bit. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trim brisket. Since I get a lot of people to ask me about how I trim brisket. So, I'm going to show you how to trim brisket. Alright, this is the biggest brisket I had. This is the one that was almost 16 pounds. And as you see, it's in the cryo vac. We're going to go ahead and trim it up. First thing I do is I put down a sheet of foil and open up the brisket. Alright, so rinse the brisket on, and this is the flat side up. This is the point side where the fat cap is, and you can see all of this fat down on the underside on the flat. What I'm gonna do is try to get some of this off out of here. Just a lot of the big stuff. You don't have to get every single piece because you're never going to get every single piece. And then this here is a decal. A decal is just a big piece of fat that separates 2 muscles. So this will never render away. Always cut this out. And it's hard to explain. Once you start doing this a lot, you'll just know where to cut. And I'm going to show you where to cut, and then when you get your own brisket, you'll see, and it should make sense. Usually I come in at about a 45-degree angle, and then I come back around, and you can see where the fat is and where it isn't. Then I kind of grab it and go in and cut from the other side. See, my fingers are out of the way, and I've cut the majority of that fat and just the fat out. There is a little bit more fat in here, so what I'll do is I'll come in here cut it out kind of like a V. And then I'll just trim it and get it out. Come a little bit this way. Right, like right there, so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, and that's trimmed. So now you'll see some people and they'll spend a good long time doing getting all of this fat off of the bottom. Honestly, I don't have time, so I don't mess with it. Don't worry, I don't worry about it too much. But I'm gonna get the big pieces off. Then I'll pick it up and I will. This is the point side, or the fat cap side. This brisket actually is pretty decent as far as the amount of fat on the fat cap, but if there was a lot of fat on the fat cap, I just grab it off kind of to the side and come at it at an angle. And this actually is a boning knife. So here's the model number in case you were looking for it. And I keep this knife pretty sharp. And you see I went down a little too far and I hit some of the meat. It's not going to be a problem. And I just kind of get a little bit off. I like to leave about 1/8 of an inch. Between 1/8, actually probably about 3/8 of an inch of fat. Between 1/4 and 3/8. Because most people don't want to pay for fat. Alright, so now I'm gonna leave all the rest of this because there's a thin side of fat and there's a thicker side of fat. But I want to even it out, and this is pretty well even. So now what I'll do is I'll season it. Sorry, can't see that part though. Alright, through the magic of television, or in this case YouTube, here are 3 of the 4 briskets seasoned and pretty much ready to go. So I'm going to season the last one, and then we'll keep moving on to the next meat. Hey yo, this is Dash, and I'm out in front of Bessie. You guys haven't seen Bessie, you know, Bessie the kick-ass smoker. You guys haven't seen Bessie in a little while, and not that I haven't wanted to use Bessie. 1, I was out of wood, and 2, I just haven't had cooks big enough really to have to use her. But today I'm going to be using Bessie. Right now I have her above where I need to be cooking at. It's at almost 300. This side is at 300. And what I'm gonna do is open it up and then start putting the meat in, and then I'll throttle the smoker back. I'll throttle Bessie back and get my cook started. So hang along for the ride. I'm gonna get some gloves. So I know I've mentioned it in a previous video. I get these gloves from Harbor Freight. I try to get them when they're on sale. When they're on sale for $6 a box, which makes them 6 cents a piece. Not very economical, I know, but they are readily available. So tonight, again, those are 4 briskets, and then I have 2 whole chickens. And top shelf loaded. Yes, it's still hot in case you were wondering. So next thing I have is chicken breast. Alright, so usually I have on a shirt, a black shirt that I don't really care much about getting dirty. But tonight, because I started this cook and I didn't change my shirt, I don't want to get dirty, so I'm putting that little piece of foil and I'm going to load some of the chicken in the back, and then I will load in the front where I don't have to reach as far in. Missed the trash can in case you were wondering. Next up is the pork shoulders. Made that one. Alright, so usually I try to allow for more room, but it just so happened I'm out of room today. So I'm having to squish everything in. Squish, squish, squish. Last but not least, baby back ribs. Alright, me personally, I like a little bit of separation between the different meats. The beef and the chicken, usually, or this is my rule of thumb, people who don't eat, well, there's people who eat pork, then there's people who don't eat pork that eat beef, and the people who might not eat beef will eat chicken. And what I typically try to do is to separate, and I'll have all pork down at the bottom, and then I'll have beef and chicken up at the top. But you see there's 4 briskets up there today. That's more than I usually cook at any one time. Typically, more often than not, I'm usually cooking at most 2 briskets at a time. So I had to get creative today. Alright, I think this is good. I'm gonna close this up and monitor the temperature. And watch along. So one of the things I get questioned about all the time is how much wood does Bessie actually use? So here we go. This is like the standard garden cart you get from Lowe's or Home Depot. It was like $100 or $150. And usually I fill this up from my wood pile and it'll last me one cook, maybe 1 1/4 cooks. Usually the last bit of wood that's left on the cart ends up being what I throw in the smoker first to start it. So there's fire, and you see it's going pretty well in there, and kind of difficult for you to see, but nope, not gonna be able to see that. So now that I have the door open, it's starting to pick up some. Let me close that, and they're my dampers, about 1.5 diamonds on either side. And my temperature right now, rocking steady, right at 250 degrees just about. It's a little higher, because, well actually, this side is a little higher because I just opened the firebox and got a little more heat going in. So in case you don't remember, Bessie's firebox is here. There's a cutout in the tank, and the heat and smoke travel up through here and enter the cook chamber over here, and then there's a lower rack and a higher rack, and then it exits out the chimney there. There you can see that is steam. It's not actually smoke, that's steam. So she's doing well. Like I said, temperature is doing hot, and I just loaded up the cart so that I can chuck some more wood in here. One of the other questions I get all the time is how much wood does Bessie use? And it's very difficult to say. It's very difficult to say because the whole thing is this. If I run the smoker, if I run Bessie at 275, then I'll probably need to throw 3, maybe even possibly 4 sticks into the firebox rather, an hour. With me running Bessie right now at about 250, I have to throw in 2, maybe 3 sticks to maintain that 250 degree temperature. And again, that's probably every hour, 2 sticks an hour. And it also depends on the size of the sticks. So like this little stick here, that wouldn't do much of anything. But if I got a bigger, see this one it was a little misleading. This one is a little, oh yeah. When you start dealing with wood, you'll kind of get the feel for it, and there's really no way else to explain it other than you'll get the feel. Like this piece here is a small thin piece. If I wanted to get the temperature up fast, I would chuck that little teeny piece in and it will burn up right away. Now if I want to maintain the temperature, I put in a bigger stick like this here, and the temperature will float up a little bit, but it'll remain steady. It's one of those things that you just kind of pick up over time. No other way to explain it. Super thrilled the way the cook is going so far. I don't really have anything else, and unfortunately I'm not going to show you the details of my cook, but I will show you more of me, or more about me maintaining the temperature in the smoker. So see y'all in a bit. Alright, so it's a few hours later, and starting to wrap things up. So there is my chicken. Those are the whole chickens. Those are the breasts, and those are the thighs. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 briskets. Those are ribs, and then those are the 2 packs of pork shoulder. So each one of those has about 15 pounds of pork shoulder in it. All right, so there you go. There's a little update, and actually, let's come over Check out the fire. Fire's looking still pretty good. And I'm gonna toss another log or two in there. At this point, and this is a little insider secret for me, what I do to help speed up the cook, after my meat gets all of the smoke it's gonna get, for my own personal, liking, I wrap everything up, and then I let the temperature in the smoker get up a little higher. Probably no higher than 300 degrees, but that'll help shave an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours off of your cook time, especially if you're cooking at like 225. That's just my own personal opinion. Your results may vary. Of course, some people have better results than others, but that's how I like to do my brisket, so I'm not sitting out here for 12 to 15 hours. I'm only out here for as long as I'm out here. People always ask, how long did it take to cook this? It takes as long as it takes. The key, I've told you guys, I've said this before, are these thermometers, okay? When it hits an internal temperature that I need it to hit, I check it for doneness, for feel, and if it feels right, let it, take it out and it's done. Let it rest, let it cool, and then I'll cut it up and deliver it. Thanks for watching. Really, at this point, all that's left is for this to finish cooking. So, that's it. Alright, thanks again for watching. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. I will try and put out a video every now and again. I can't promise you that I will, but I will try. I will give it an honest attempt. But I need to know what you want to see, because I can show you more videos of me cooking, but not everybody wants to see that. Do you have questions you want to answer? Do you want to learn how to cook something specific or in particular? Let me know what you want to see, and I'll do my best to make it happen. Alright, thanks again for watching. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button down there. Leave me a comment down below and tell me what you thought of this video. Thanks again for watching.